everyone. My name is Justine Broker, and I have my beautiful friend Nikki with us tonight. And I'm so excited for her to share her story because it inspires me every single day, and you're just amazing. But yeah, if you could just share who you are and your story, and if people have questions, drop them in the comments. We'll see them, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good. So, hi. Thank you so much for having me, first off.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you.
so much. So I'm Nikki Pavi. I am a trauma support specialist, an empowerment strategist, and just as equally a, an activist and advocate for disabilities, for invisible illnesses, most of all. I've been battling multiple sclerosis personally for 15 years. It's been a very eventful 15 years, lots of lessons. I've actually gone paralyzed 4 different times, twice from the waist down and twice from the neck down. Um, each one came with its own, here's
Oh,
life now. Yeah.
yeah.
My story really just the whole life has really been eventful.
Yeah.
Childhood started out pretty traumatic, abuse and, homelessness and things like that. And then I was actually removed from my father's care. And then almost a year to the day later, that was like the first time that I would go paralyzed. I was 17. It was like a month before my 18th birthday. And like my world was obviously my world was like shattered. I'm like cheer captain. That was like my first
Oh,
react. Yeah, like that was my first. I was like, actually, okay, so 17-year-old me was not having it just as much as now, if not more forcefully. Excuse me. And my direct response when the doctor was trying to like prep me like not to get my hopes up or this is the possibility you may never walk again and I'm like listen here doc. I'm like are you kidding? But also, I was like, listen here, doc. I'm like, I don't care what you write on your little ditto pad. I'm like, you don't know me. You don't know what I am. I'm like, I'm senior cheer captain. That was my go-to. I was like, ma'am, like that gave you credibility to walk. But it did. Turns out. But yes, but that happened a few times. And it's very unpredictable and it's very infuriating and it's very it's chock full of life goodness that all of us in our own way go through the constant BS. You know, you don't get a name like Queen of the Bounce Back if you haven't been through some shit. So
right.
it's I really, 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 really try to find the lesson. I have and continue and hopefully continue. To be really good at finding the silver linings. That just happens to be a gift of mine. Thank you, God, universe. Thank someone, myself also. It's very full of adapting. It's very, there's the art of the pivot. It's like, okay, all right, this is life now. Okay. So it's like, what are you going to do? And it's like sometimes you are stuck and there's nothing to do but like what the fuck? That's
Mhm.
a thing.
Yeah.
That's a thing often. I'm very big on, like, your thing is radical authenticity. And I love that. I'm very big on transparency. And as much as I'm like positivity, absolutely, it's super important. However, rooted in realism and humanity, because we're human at the end of the day, no matter how spiritual, no matter how, how much personal development. I'm a trauma support specialist and I still have to work through my trauma because it's a process every single day as is life. So I'm a
Yeah.
big believer in life is what you make it. Very, very, very big. Um, because there's always, that's where our control lies. I've learned in my lack of control. Through my lack of control in like literally from the neck, like you're just stuck there with your brain and analyzing and like every situation possible. That one time in 7th grade when I'm like it really makes you you can't do anything but turn within because
Right.
you're stuck there.
Right.
So as infuriating as it was very educational and informative and reflective. But again, life is what you make it, because as much as I can harp on, like, I learned so many lessons, it sucked as well, and it was
Yeah.
hard, and it was, you know, I'm a very big believer though, and life is hard as fuck, but difficult is still doable, and we can simplify it. There are ways to simplify it. I hope to do that within my profession for others. Um, but it's not easy. It's not easy.
No.
Definitely not easy, and sometimes it's okay to just be like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good now. I don't want to do today, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I do it as
Yeah.
often, as I can. And the days I'm feeling great, it's like, hey, life, here I am again. And the days I'm not, that's what it is. And I don't really have that much of a say outside of that reality.
Right.
So yeah. Oh, there you go. I was waiting for that to happen. I was like, yeah, it's gonna show up. So there it is on cue. So I was like, oh, introducing. Okay.
I know.
But yeah. So it's see, I got excited. I was like, oh yeah, let me tell you. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it really it things like that, it's a reminder. It really brings the intention to things. It does bring you back. It does focus you. It does but again, as much as this can focus me, it also helps me to focus on what I should really be focusing on, even though I don't like the word should usually.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, like this brings you back to like, oh yeah, there you are, reality. But then it's like, do I stay stuck on the fact that I'm like twitching, or do we
Right.
just continue? And I'm like, that's fine too. Like it's one of those, like, we always have a choice, even when we don't have a choice about other things. We can find the choices we have, and that's where we kind of take the reins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you get to a point where you're like, I'm done, don't.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
and I will, and I've learned, and I've had to kind of like be
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry, and I hope to do it gracefully, and it's never disrespectfully, but it's just like, oh, okay, it's actually, yep, it's about that
Yep.
time, y'all. But thank you for that, though. I appreciate the grace very
Yeah,
much so.
of
Thank you.
course. And I really think, because I'm part of your community, and I give you so much respect when you're like, okay, we had this, but I'm not in it today. And everyone's, I think that makes a big statement in itself, because we try to please others instead of looking within to find our happiness and our comfort and our, well-being. And so I applaud you for that, because not a lot of people can do that.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. It is very much still a continuing learned behavior. Um, it is. It's not so much that it's like I wouldn't necessarily want to be so good at it. It's just kind of one of those things, like, where do you want to expend your energy right now,
Right.
Nick? Like,
Right.
where do you think that's, and I have my days where I'm like outraged and I am angry, and, shitty things happen. Like, I have the best community, and shitty things still happen to me within the
Yeah.
community. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. Like,
Yeah.
I just got humbled in a very new way recently. So I'm still learning, I was told something was going to happen, and I struggled myself, and I did my work, and
Mhm.
I like shared and released and was like, okay, I'll trust y'all. And if you, and then it was like nothing happened. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, let's reaffirm every fear I had. And also, I didn't want this in the first place. So like, now I just feel dumb. And also, I was like, you start to depend on, so so it's very like, however, again, humanity, because things happen, people have a life of their own and a story of their own and their own struggles and their own obstacles and their own, and it's like, I literally, when I say, as angry as I definitely was and had certain conversations and had to have real hard conversations,
Mhm.
I respect, this is why I respect my people so much, is because they sat there and had the hard conversation. And
Right.
like, a lot of the calls that week started with, I'm sorry, I'm such a shit friend. And they ended with, I love you. I love you more than ever. You know what I mean? Like that's literally, I think that's really important. I mean, that's radical authenticity. Like,
Yeah.
look, let's call it what it is. I'll absolutely express how I feel, but also I love you. Like, also, like, this is not what matters in the scheme of things. Like, and you get to pick and choose your battles. You know, it's you pick them or they pick you.
Right. Right.
So again, it's like life is what you make it, and great. And you get that choice every day, and you get that choice every minute. Honestly, I mean, every second you really get that choice. But like, not to be dramatic, you get that choice every day you wake up.
Mm-hmm.
It's and it can change. And like, you could start out okay and end up not okay, and that's okay, or vice versa. And that's okay. I'm very big on like not a definitive right and wrong, but
Okay.
more so a focus on like a healthy versus unhealthy. Like, is this healthy or unhealthy? Because it's not right and wrong. I'm very big about perspective. My like, not specialization, not focus, but a merge of the two, if you would. Some logophile I am right now. But I hope to like strengthen the emotional resilience within people by using perspective training. So like,
Yeah.
perspective to me is everything. It is true open-mindedness. It is the whole, empathy is not endorsement. I can empathize with you. I can see your point of view. I can respect it just as much as I respect mine without having to flip on my integrity and my stance. I don't have to disrespect you, and I hope not to. That's truly never my intent ever. I have no malice in me. Like, and this is because I am like too honest and I share too much. But genuinely, I don't have the strength to lie. First off, I don't have the memory. I would be a terrible, terrible liar.
Yeah.
I literally can't remember my sentences sometimes. So I'm like, how did I just envy people with like that ability sometimes. I'm not
Right.
gonna lie, but it's a lot of learning to do with what you got, and all the cute quotes that go with it, the cards you're dealt and whatnot, and it's you find the silver linings, or
You
you
do.
don't,
Right.
or you don't. Like,
Right.
that's kind of what it is. So
And I can see the link with trauma and perspective, like it's hand in hand. Like you can
mm,
view, and I'm not like downplaying trauma by any
mm-mm,
means, but you can choose to think that something happened to you, which it very well could have, or where you come in, how do I use this as my superpower?
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's finding what that looks like for the individual. If
Hmm.
do you find it in identifying with your story? Is the story what needs to be left in the dust? And every situation is different. So you come at it with a lot of individuality, and a lot of, this is what this relationship is. This is what this dynamic needs to be for this healing for that person. And the relationship is super important. The trust, the genuine lack of judgment. Like, I am nothing, no judgment, right? Like, I'm like, go ahead, lay it on me. No, you
Right.
don't say, because whoo, I have stories too. We have all stories. I grew up in Brooklyn. I'm good. Like, I'm sure we all have stories. Let's be real. So it's like, we're all human at the end of the day. And even if it's the worst of the worst, it's like, okay, so do you want to be better? That's my point. Like, okay, so starting from the time I meet you, do you want to be better?
Right.
Great, I can work with that. It's not my job to make you be happy. That's those are two different things. I can't want it more than you want it. It's just impossible. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
I'd rather you save your money. There are people who will take it. I'm just not. Because if I can't, that's my genuine payment, without trying to sound cheesy. But like, if I don't actually help you, I'm not really getting much out of this.
Right.
Because that's what I genuinely want out of it. I want to be able to make a genuine change, or at least make it an impact in a positive regard. So it's really just being upfront and very honest and very matter of fact. Communication is super important, so that there's no, here's how to do this. You got a friend in it, you have a mentor, you have a guide. I just can't do it for you. I also can't want it for you. So if you have those two things, I ask every client I work with, you have to ask yourself the question: have you suffered enough? ask yourself, have I suffered enough? And sometimes we haven't, and sometimes we need to suffer more in order to learn the lesson. And I am a glutton for punishment, my damn self. Masochism in me. There's many a lesson I've had to learn and relearn and relearn and relearn in different ways in order to be like, oh, okay, I got it. And that happens. And again, like I thought I had paralysis figured out the first time. Oh no, ma'am. And then it happened again, and I was like, oh no way. And it happened a third time, and it was from the neck down. And I was like, no way. What? Like, what are you? So it's very, again, it's the art of the pivot. It's the, okay, well, this is life now, and how are we going to make it work for us? At least make it enjoyable. How are we going to do this? You know, and you try your best. Can you go to bed at night and lay your head down and say, I did my best, genuinely. That's all I can ask of myself. I would hope of people. Again, I'm not here to judge, so like it's not for me to say this is how you should live your life. This is how I live my life, and here I am. Like, and that's what it is. It's like it doesn't even. I hope to be an example of. Hopefully, I'm more inspiring than sad. I struggle with that too, because my hope is to brighten people's life, and I understand that a lot of what comes with me is very uncomfortable and very sad and very real, and people aren't always ready for that level of realness. And it's difficult on both sides, and I understand both sides as the person who's like sitting here like, but I'm sick, just love me. Like, I'm sorry it's hard to love me and look at me, but like I just need love. And then it's also like you have to protect your own self-care, and like I understand how much it takes to watch someone you love suffer. I understand that element of it. So like I have to give you, not that I have, but like for me, myself personally, I have to give you that grace, because I genuinely get that part as well. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But the fact that I can't take like the therapist hat off. I can't, it's like you can't unsee something. So like I do get it. So you got it from me, like, but again, I have my days where I'm also like, hey, they're not mutually exclusive though. Also, it also sucks being me right now. So let's also remind of the situation all around. As much as it must suck for you, and I get that, also try being me right now. So it is where grit meets grace. I try to wade in the middle there.
Yeah. But that's what that quality about you has, like, I have seen it from the day we met. You're just like, you call a spade a spade. Like, you don't give two shits who is saying what to you. If you believe, you're going to speak, but you're also going to listen. And that's just such a gift. Such a gift.
Thank you. That was a beaut. Thank you. Thank you for like seeing that. And that's such a special thing to hear. So thank you. I'm glad that does. Thank you. Because I hope to listen more than speak, honestly. I know I don't shut the, but I truly do. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I remember the first live stream I watched of yours, you were like calling out the spiritual community, like, listen here. And I was like, oh, yes, and it's, what's your saying? Take no shit.
Ooh, do no harm, take no shit. First, do no harm. That's first and foremost, do no harm to yourself, to others. Do no harm. Take no shit, because that do no harm to yourself is also, that comes with that radical boundary of, oh no, sir. While I respect your point of view, and I thank you for that. Thank you for your input. I love constructive criticism, and I say it all. Please teach me something. If you can teach me something, I am over the moon. Because I just, number one, growth. Number two, I just learned something new. Fantastic. Number three, don't have me looking stupid out here. If you can correct something, please don't have me speaking something that I talk nonsense about. Because it doesn't matter how loud you're barking if what you're saying is nonsense. And I hope not to speak nonsense, because I'm, again, living with intent. I'm very intentional with my words. I don't say things unnecessarily. Hopefully, I'm human again, but I don't speak out of I don't want to shut someone down or make someone feel dumb or feel like they're lesser. That is never my intention. But there's a power in education, and that is my main goal. But again, picking and choosing your battles, there are plenty of times where I'm like, oh, no, you're not the one. I'm not someone's not the one in this situation. So let's either remove the situation, or we can handle this real quick and it'll be donezo. And like I say, it's the double clap, done. When you get the double clap, it's done. Like
no more. Don't even come at me.
Like, we're done now. Thank you. But I'm also very like, I'm good at like, I don't know. I haven't landed on if it's decompartmentalizing or compartmentalizing, which really this falls into. But being able to be like, okay, we just had this tiff and we really went at it and we genuinely felt very strong difference. We're not talking about this anymore. So okay, what time is lunch? I'm very good at, you know what I mean? Like, because that's where my energy was. Because like you said, I'm going to defend how I feel if I genuinely, truly within my soul, but only because I know I've done so much work. And if I have a very strong feeling about something, I trust myself to be like, hang on until somebody sparks something that makes you go, okay, I'm listening.
Yeah.
That makes so much sense though. Thank you for putting it that way, because honestly, that really makes so much sense. I had it all wrong. I can say I'm not infallible. I'm very fallible. Like, I am very far from perfect. But also I understand that people are as well. So it's that like mutual respect, equality, treat me like a human. Basic, treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't do anything to someone you wouldn't want done to you.
Right.
Say please, thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I don't understand. It's not that difficult.
I know.
Again, simple and easy. It's really simple. That doesn't mean it's going to make life easy, but it just makes simpler things.
Right. And wake the hell up. Allow yourself. I think that's a big problem, especially with, I'm just going to say it, with Caucasian whites have a hard time being told.
I'm sorry.
I was the same way.
True,
like, I got called on, like, I had got my ass handed to me, but it was the best day and the best thing that could have ever happened to me, because I see the world completely different. Completely different.
I love you. Like, I love you so much for being able to see it that way. So much. I also, again, see both sides of this very well. And also, who the fuck am I? So we'll also start there. But in my humble opinion, I was very active during that time. That was one of my fiercest, and I do have a very strong stance and a very strong opinion, and was also, I had to I don't want to say luckily, I wasn't so much humbled. I think, again, because I've done so much of my own work. I mean, literally since I'm 16 years old, I've been an activist. So like the human rights component, that's there. And so I'm proud of myself for that. Yeah. But also, again, it's nothing to like, I'm better than you or educate. Cool. But I also had to humble myself with certain things and go to my friends and go to the people who I care about and go, so I know you know I don't mean it, but like, I respect you enough to be like, okay, so I'm a dick. So let's just say that real quick. I'm sorry, because now I'm, interesting. And like most of my people were like, you're kidding me, right? Like, but it didn't matter. Like, I understand that. I respect you. I love you. Also, this was a learning thing. I don't know if this helps your process, but like, no, I learned in this situation. And also, if you're like, I don't give a shit, tell me that, and that's cool too. We can move on. Like, you know what I mean? So it's but yeah, I hope that if you're gonna get your ass handed to you, I hope you learn something from it. So that's like great. That's a fantastic learning experience. And
just more people.
I'm sure you're better.
Do it, you know.
That's the thing. Like, being enlightened and educated has, and I understand where it comes from, but people tend to, again, ego is a big thing here, and it's like, I don't want to be wrong, and there's such this focus on right and wrong. And like my favorite for like a good couple of years now is like, excuse me, to say like they're not mutually exclusive, because it's like they can happen at the same time. One
Right.
doesn't have to be right or wrong. You can be right and I can be right and they're both right, or vice versa. Like, what is this? So it's really like, again, but is this a healthy interaction?
Right.
Is this a, as much as I I welcome like the chance to, teach me something. There's a time where I'm going to be like, I'm done though. So
Yeah.
I've said my piece. There's no longer a progression here. Thank you. Good day. Like,
Yeah.
may you live well and far. Very well and very far. I'm good with that. Like, I'm really good. I wish no one bad. Someone doing badly, someone's life, someone suffering does not have any effect, none, zero on my life. Absolutely nothing.
Right.
It takes so much for you to be angry and for you to hold resentment. And I know this because the body keeps the score, and especially mine. So it's like the things I felt 10 years old, this is what's shaking right now. It's like, oh, cool, 13. I remember you. Like,
Yeah.
so it's very, you get very conscious of that. So again, I'm very good at being like, and we're done here. Thank you for that. That was next. Okay. See you next, whenever.
See you next Tuesday.
That's it though. That's it though. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it. And sometimes I'm an Aries, and I'm sorry, I hate that cop out. I'm sorry, I have to say it.
It's okay.
My community, I'm sorry, don't kill me. My astrologist, I love you all because I know nothing. But like, I'm a fiery person, so yeah, I'm human sometimes, and sometimes I slip up and I get a little too angry and a little too mouthy, and I'm extra as fuck. And yes, I am. Because again, I think in abundance, I listen in abundance, I love in abundance. So I'm extra with everything. So you're gonna, it's a very and again, I work on myself. I don't always stay there. I don't, but humanity, giving
Yeah.
yourself the compassion. Like, this is a heightened time right now. Things are crazy.
Things
Give
are
yourself a
actually
little
crazy.
love. Extra
Yeah.
crazy. Crazy AF. It's life.
Oh my God.
That's it.
But in the best way,
That's why I have a tan right now. I haven't had a tan in 2 years.
Can we talk about that real quick?
I cried. Okay, when I got to Florida, I cried rivers because I was at a point. So people who don't know what I've looked like for the last 2 years. Not that I'm like so different right now, but Justine and I were pretty much the same color, and I'm not supposed to be. So that's the difference. I came out this color, and I'm now back to it, and I'm like, oh, it's sunburn right now. That's what the color is classified as right now. However, it will turn into, because really my skin was so translucent and so paper thin, and you could see my blood vessels, and it was detrimental to my psyche, to me seeing me, to me even knowing who I like. There was a lot that had to happen for, I have gotten very good at making well look easy, seemingly easy. It's not. And that's where my realism comes in. Like, just because I make it look easy, don't get it twisted. Don't forget what I'm dealing with while I'm also being this wonderful bubbly blah, blah. So there's a level of that. But there's also like, chill, Nick, people are going through shit too. And there's a level of that. So like, cool. That's I'm kind of where they meet. I say it, I'm where Little Miss Sunshine meets Little Miss Mouth. Hey, it's me. And that's it.
Right.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
That's it.
Totally.
But yeah, so it's, and I a lot of humor. Humor is, whether it's a healthy amount of humor or not, I'm not sure. But humor, grace, like you get intentional. Really, you get concise on like what really matters right now in the big scheme of things.
Right.
Okay.
And I feel, trauma survivors have a hard time deciphering boundaries, self-respect, self-compassion, so where can people find you?
Oh, everything Queen of the Bounce Back. So Facebook.com /group /Queen of the Bounce Back. Facebook.com all that jazz. Insta / Queen of the Bounce Back. Literally YouTube, TikTok, We won't even talk about that right now.
That's
We
all
gotta
right.
get back there because now I kind of look like me again. But we'll talk about that later. See, always progressing. But yeah, all things Queen of the Bounce Back, queenofthebounceback.com.
Okay.
Private. I'm really right now. My one-on-ones are probably the most special to me right now. I want to make the most impact with where I am in life right now.
Mm-hmm.
Where my time goes, and again, it's not even the money that it's genuinely how do I want to spend the rest of however long that is. And that's how I genuinely love what I do. I genuinely help people. I help myself through helping people. I learn, it's that this was, I didn't feel good. I didn't really, I'm not gonna radical authenticity. I didn't really want to come on
I
tonight.
know.
My laptop wasn't working and being an asshole. So, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to. And I'm really happy I did.
I'm glad you did
Really
too.
genuinely did. Like, thank you so much for giving me this space too. So thank you.
Yes.
It's just it's an ebb and flow, a give and take, and it is what it is.
I know. You're just such a beautiful human. So anyone,
Thank you.
I mean, even just being in your presence, it's like you just
Yeah, come talk to me. You got a friend in me. That's
I know.
You're not alone. You're not alone. Like,
No.
that's my
You
whole.
either.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank
If
you.
you
I'm
just need
learning
someone
that.
to scream at,
There's so many things I need. Do you just need fill in the blank here?
I got
Yes.
you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I need all of that and then some. No, I need genuineness. I need, I don't need empty words. I don't need pretty little somethings. I need everyone to be real with me and be honest and keep it a buck. Like just that match of energy, and you do that all the time, and so I love you, and I'm like, you're
I
so
love you.
supportive and you're amazing. So and really, I have the community is absolutely amazing. This is just me being human, and this is the human experience.
I wouldn't
Let's
want you.
share. That's it, baby. So like I come. So but thank you,
You're
truly
welcome.
genuinely thank you so much for having me and for this experience and for sharing your platform and your audience and just putting love out there,
Well,
hopefully.
we'll do it again. You
Absolutely.
you take care of yourself
I will.
and relax the rest of the night. And thank you again for taking the time to talk with me. I love you
I
so
love
so
you.
much.
I love you so incredibly much. You are such a queen, and I just adore you. Thank you for this. Thank you so much, really.
Thank you. We'll talk soon.
Yes.
Bye, Lovey. What's happening? Can we talk about something real quick before you go on with your evening as planned? It's time to stop chasing. It's time to stop chasing the followers. It's time to stop chasing the big number. It's time to stop just chasing all of it. How about we embrace or chase you? What would it feel like to chase what you want to achieve in a way that feels good to you? What if we instead chased the impact that we want to make? What if instead we chased the message, the power of our story, all of those things instead of things from outside that really don't define who we are one bit? You were put here for a reason. You were put here for a reason, and you have a way that is like no one else to deliver that purpose and that story, that thing that makes you you. That's what we want to chase. That's what keeps you motivated. That's when you find time to do the things that you want to do and you see the results because of it. So if you have questions or would like more information on how to work with me so that you can tap into your thing, please reach out to me. I am here for you. I appreciate you. And I cannot wait to see you on the next episode of The Pineapple Experience.